Hmm. A friend of mine once said, it's better to be right in my heart and wrong in my doctrine than it is to be right in my doctrine and wrong in my heart. Just consider it for a minute. Just consider that. You got all these people out here who are so afraid that they're not going to be right in their doctrine, or they're afraid to be wrong, and they're afraid that everyone else is wrong too. And they're right. They are. Everyone is wrong. Everyone. Okay? Do you know that in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, he writes to the angels of the churches, the 7 churches. Okay, John, the crazy guy on the island there who believed in Jesus, and they put him on that island all by himself for it. Locked him up. Well, that guy, okay? So the Lord appears to him and gives him a vision. And one of the angels of the Lord takes him into heaven. And the Lord says to him, okay, now, I want you to write to these 7 churches. Write these letters. Okay, now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, okay? Because, you see, only 1 out of 7 churches. These were the world churches, okay? And only 1 out of the 7 pleased him. Only 1. 1. And this one church is the church of brotherly love. Okay? That's what it means. Okay, Philadelphia, the church of brotherly love. Okay? Because they have kept the word of his patience. Okay? And he said that he would open a door to them. Oh yes, a special door. I'm telling you, the Lord opens doors and windows to heaven all the time. But he says he'll open a door to us. So we may not have to face the hour of temptation that's going to come upon this world. That door that he's talking about is the door into his presence. And it's under his blood. That we enter in under his blood, and he becomes our force field, if you will, okay? He becomes the orb of our salvation. The sphere around us is his presence. And it grows and it expands. And as it grows and it expands, it pushes out. It displaces pestilence and disease. Spiritual and physical. You see, love is that virtue. The same virtue that Jesus didn't even have to touch the woman, okay? The woman with the issue of blood. Probably a cancer or whatever, but Jesus didn't even have to touch her. She was way over there in the throng of, the crowds, and she couldn't get through. I mean, busy, crowded streets, right? Lots of people. Everybody wanted to get close to Jesus. There was no way she was going to get through. And Jesus, he felt her. He felt her heart crying out to him, reaching out to him. And he said, "Who touched me?" And of course, his disciples are going like, "Lord, we're in the middle of a crowd, can barely move. What do you mean who touched you? Everybody's touching you. And he says, no, 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 no. Who touched me? Who touched me here? Who touched my heart? There's nothing I won't do for them if they just touch my heart. Touch my heart. I don't want lip service. Give me the real deal. I want you. And I want you in my life. This is the way he's speaking to us. Oh, all this other stuff is just symptomatic. It's bullshit. Every bit of it, okay? It's fertilizer for the next whatever it is that comes along. But if we make it across that line, that invisible line that separates this reality from the next, all we gotta do is reach in and touch him. Reach in and touch his heart. If we can do that, we will be transformed. He will heal us. That explosion of life within us, bigger than any nuclear explosion in this planet. It displaces sickness and disease. It replaces pestilence. It displaces, it gets rid of all the darkness. Now you would say, the darkness is the absence of light. Is it? I say that light is the absence of darkness. And when the Lord drives out the darkness, and that darkness is the darkness of the shadows. Okay, we're talking about those ones that like to move around and, well, they hide in the corners, and you see them in the corner of your eye. Those ones, okay? They're nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be afraid of. Because he drives them out. His presence pushes them away from us. And that is the luminance of light. You got to remember, that which does not illuminate is not light. But he says his spirit is the light that illuminates. He doesn't chase our problems off. Okay, we got different situations that we have to face and get through. He doesn't chase them off, at least not right away. Okay, not until they have served his purpose. Okay, and his purpose, and I say, not until he serves his purpose. Now, once he serves his purpose, well, trust me, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be dissatisfied. You're never going to be disappointed. You're going to love everything he does inside of you and everything he makes of you. And more and more and more, you're going to enjoy every situation that he puts you in. Because you're going to see him emerge from within you, little by little. Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you will. And when you see him, then you have, well, let's say this, okay? You know, when the disciples were standing there on top of the hill and they were watching Jesus ascend into the clouds, the angel said to them, "What do you men? What do you men stand here looking up in the clouds? Don't you know that the same Jesus who left you is returning the same way he left?" In other words, he was going up from within you. That's why he comes up. He's coming back this way, out of your heart. He's breaking out from the little seed that he planted in the hearts of humanity, okay, so long ago. So long ago. When he poured out his Spirit upon all flesh. Okay? He said, young men will see visions and old men will have dreams. And I remember I was homeless. Sitting in the Chicken Delight, reading my little pocket New Testament and Psalms, and thinking what it must be like to ascend the stairway into heaven. And the next thing I know, I'm not imagining it anymore. I'm actually sitting there in the banquet room. And as I'm walking around, I realized that I'm small, like a baby, like a child. And I could walk up underneath the dining room table. And the table was made of clear gold. Pure. And then I heard him walk into the room and sit down at the chair at the end of the table, and he says to me, "Come here. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Come up here and let me feed you." And so I did. And I looked at myself and I couldn't see myself. I was invisible. But I was well in being, and the air around me was just, the ambient temperature was just perfect. And the good Lord held me in his arms. And he whispered to me, okay? And he said, "Seek out the depths of my love, and I will give you my voice." And right then and there, I knew what he meant. He said, "Not only will I give you my voice here, but I will give you my voice from here." Oh, well, that's it, people. That's all I can give you right now. Tune in next time.